Hey, Wembogan World Entertainment and Predator Killer of Killers, which comes out this week, has its first reactions they've dropped online. There's a lot of them, but we'll have a look at a few of them. They're all very positive, actually. Now, of course, we do have to take into account that these are people who got to see it on a big screen at this big event and all this type of stuff. So, yeah, you're kind of going to be caught up in the moment. But at the same time, they do seem to have different kind of takes on it, not the usual kind of shill stuff we see when it comes to Marvel, where they're all saying the same thing, but they do seem to be praising it a little bit. Now, again, it's understandable, they're the first reactions, they're the first people brought to this thing. We'll all have to make our own mind up, but it does give you a bit more faith. Now, there is one review in this article that I'm looking at that's not here, which kind of it praises it and stuff and says it's great and all that, but it gave something interesting away that it's not in here, as I said, but I'll let you know. It's not a spoiler or anything, but apparently the movie is less than 90 minutes long. So for 3 story arcs, which is of course the Vikings, Samurai and World War II, it seems to be under an hour and a half. So I'm curious to how long we're spending with each story. You know, are we spending more time with one than the other and stuff? It'll be interesting to see that. But overall, it does seem to be getting a good reaction. Keep in mind as well, these are a lot of the same people who have looked at Trachtenberg's Badlands that's coming out in November and have been heavily criticizing the look of the Predator in that movie. So overly praising him maybe a small bit with this one, but then they're criticizing him for that one. Like, I can't see any in here where it's saying like, oh, the franchise is in great hands with Dan Trachtenberg. Like, there is a lot of those types saying, you know, that he's the right choice to lead this. Again, that's from the same people who then look at the look of the Predator in Badlands and go, like, what the hell is that thing? Either way, we'll have a look at some of these reviews. So the first one says, Predator Killer of Killers is a masterful love letter to the franchise and exactly what we've wanted for years. The animation is gorgeous, the stories are beautiful, and the fight sequences are gloriously bloody and perfect. Thank you, Dan Trachtenberg. The next one is, Killer of Killers is flat out awesome. Dan Trachtenberg delivers a near perfect Predator experience that any fan will appreciate, especially those who've longed to see key moments in history collide with the iconic hunter. It's packed with jaw-dropping action and great animation. The next one says, Killer of Killers is the best Predator film since the original, even better than Prey. Compiling stories / world building, brutal action, and a twist that blows the doors open for the franchise's future. This is to the Predator franchise what Spider-Verse was to Spider-Man. Don't know if that's a great comparison at the end there, but either way. So next one is, Killer of Killers is a glimpse into the world of Predator unlike anything we have seen before. Each segment stands on its own, with the sword being the standout for me. The sword is the samurai one. We finally have our Predator versus Samurai. You won't believe that ending. Holy shit. Once it starts, it doesn't let up. The next one is, Killer of Killers is what Predator fans have been waiting for their entire lives. The Predator is savage, brutal, and absolutely awesome in this movie. The animation is stunning, and there's plenty of fans of Predator and Prey to look forward to in this one. The next one is, Killer of Killers is simultaneously the animatrix of the Predator franchise and the best Assassin's Creed movie not called Assassin's Creed. A lore-expanding, grisly, bloodbath boasting, stunningly dynamic animation that inventively pushes the franchise forward. An effing blast. And the last one we have in this article is, Predator fans stay winning. Predator Killer of Killers is freaking awesome. An action-packed, bloody thriller with a character-driven approach. It's an inventive animated film that feels like it was made by Predator fans for Predator fans. The future looks bright for the franchise. Now, as I said, there are a lot more of these reactions that you can find out there, and again, they're all very much praising it. One of the things they do touch on a lot is the animation, how good the animation actually looks, which, yeah, when you look at the trailers, the animation is an interesting animation. It does look good. The funny thing as well is the premiere for this thing was at this Egyptian theater thing. I'm not sure where it was. I think it was in Nevada or somewhere. But they had this giant statue of one of the predators, the predator that's in the Viking story, with this weird pulse hammer hand thing. And the thing looks great. You're like, well, they really went all out for that yoke. Either way, yeah, getting the good feedback, that's what you want. But of course, you can't take away, once again, as I said, the fact that these people were at the premiere, they were getting to see it on the big screen stuff. And that is the other thing. There was one review that did say, like, oh, it's a shame everyone's not getting to see this on the big screen. That's one of the things, though. I think if they stuck this on the big screen, it would probably actually fail. I don't think it would actually do well. Regardless of it being R-rated and stuff, I just don't think you could convince audiences, especially an adult audience, to go and see an animated movie. I could be wrong, but I just feel like it wouldn't have the pull that it will if it's getting dubbed on Hulu. Now, there does seem to be teases as well with a lot of Easter eggs. They're not confirming that the Easter eggs are kind of building up towards Badlands. There does seem to be a few hints that there's Easter eggs in this that lead this movie into Badlands. That doesn't quite make sense to me, being the fact that this is set between the Vikings time period and ending with the Second World War. Badlands is set way in the future, not even on Earth. So I don't quite get how there could be Easter eggs like that. I think the Easter eggs would probably more lean into something with Prey, and even more so something with the original movie. Don't know whether that's the case or not, but we'll find out. I also see that the guy who played Poncho in the original Predator, he was at the premiere alongside Dan Trachtenberg. That's cool to see. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, this thing drops on the 6th of June. I'm looking forward to it. I've liked the trailers. I think the concept looks interesting. Again, I do wonder, will this be one of those, it comes out and you kind of go, wow, I would have preferred to see that type of stuff in live action. We don't know, but we don't have long to wait to find out. So let's see what this thing's all actually about, and whether or not these reviews actually have overhyped it, or does the movie actually live up to that hype. We shall find out this weekend. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.